Welcome to the MsSavvyPro Show with Patrice Jackson, a.k.a. MsSavvyPro, where each week we get up close and personal with successful purpose-filled people to reveal their struggles, strategies, and inspiring stories of how they are changing the world one person at a time. Our purpose is to empower you to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can to pursue your dreams and goals.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to the MsSavvyPro Show on another terrific Tuesday. It's your girl, Patrice Jackson, a.k.a. MsSavvyPro. And yes, guess what, you guys? Last week you did not hear a pre-recorded show. We were live on Facebook. We were live on Facebook with how many? Yes, with 15 interviews all day long. We were out there. We were promoting the new book, Purpose Matters, which has been released as of 2018, you guys. It has released. Copies will be going out soon. We are so super happy that is out now. The team worked so hard getting that book together. The anthology authors worked so hard putting their point of views of purpose and their stories of purpose and how they've overcame. I'm so glad that I had the contributing authors that I did. Every single one of them had a whole new different story and a whole new different perspective. That day was really awesome, and I am thankful to those authors as well as the sponsors. Like we had Dortia, and we had Phenomenal Women's Fashion. We had so many different sponsors that we had Floral Decor. Yes, Cherie's story was so awesome. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on over to Facebook Live last week and celebrating our book release with us. But as we celebrate, we are still celebrating, but we are going to celebrate with new and more new artists. We're going to new authors, new people pursuing their purpose, and we are doing that today. We have a great guest today. We have Miss Nameica Craig here, and she's going to tell us about her version of purpose and how she got to where she is, and I'm super excited to speak with her. So we are going to go ahead and jump on into the broadcast, and we're going to read her bio and see how she's doing. So Nameica is the author of newly released Girl Affirm Yourself motivational speaker, the newly released Girl Affirm Yourself. She is a motivational speaker, purpose coach, mentor, and entrepreneur known for transforming lives through speaking and facilitating her Tap into the Power of You workshops that teach others how to overcome obstacles which hinders one from accomplishing their goals and achieving success. She has learned through facing and conquering many personal challenges that it takes perseverance to achieve the possible. The 2016 Atlanta Phenomenal Woman Award recipient greatest passion is for seeing others win by living a fabulously blessed and purposeful life. Yes, that right there is what we are all about here on the MsSavvyPro Show. We are all about encouraging and empowering each listener to go out and find their purpose and to find their way in life and use that purpose and use those gifts to change the world from right where they are. So we're going to go ahead and introduce Ms. Nameica Craig. Hi. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I am most elated to be speaking with you tonight on the subject of purpose in any aspect.
Yes, and I'm really anxious to hear, how you got to where you are, what your purpose is, and how you help others. But before all of that, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Patrice. I am a believer. I am a wife, a mother of 4, I'll say, 2 biological, 2 inherited. I have a son in college and a biological daughter who is going into high school. I am originally from Wilcox County, Alabama. I have lived in Atlanta for 17 years in addition to going to college here. I am a writer. My passions are helping people in the aspect of discovering who they are, why they are, and most importantly, whose they are. Who you belong to me, is the definition of who you are. And I am a fun and loving person. I love spending family time when I am not working in my business. I love traveling, and I'm generally a people person. I am currently relaxing right now as I talk to you, something I don't get to do often. So
tell me about it. I know that feeling.
I enjoy quiet time and meditation. I meditate in the mornings more so than in the evenings, because you can imagine, as a mom and a wife, how my evenings are. Busy.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And as a wife, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, I'm quite sure you have to you have many hats that you wear, and you do have to find ways to take breaks when you with the hats off completely.
So thank you for giving me this sit down time. This
well, I am glad that you have came on to the show with us. So tell me, I'm reading your bio, and I love, how when you read bios and you see these keywords, and you can kind of hear the enthusiasm that you have for the things that you do, and some of the stuff you name, and some of the things that you do. And one of those is Girl Affirm Yourself. Please tell me about that.
Oh, wow. Girl Affirm Yourself is my baby. Girl Affirm Yourself is my book, my newly released book, which has just come out of editing. God gave me a vision to write a book about 7 to 8 years ago, and I didn't know exactly what he wanted me to write about. I knew it wasn't an autobiography yet, or a life story, or anything like that. And I began to pray and just kind of pay attention to the way my life was flowing. Sometimes we think that we aren't ready to write books because certain things haven't happened in our lives, or we don't feel like we're just quite there yet. You know what I mean? And God said to me to write from my strength, write from the areas where I have grown, write from what he has taught me and what I have learned from him and life experiences. And then on social media, I knew that I had a presence on social media, but I had no idea about anything about branding or growing a audience or anything like that. I just felt like I was doing what God wanted me to do, being inspirational, posting motivational posts and encouraging people. And then I began to pay attention to the need. I saw a need, a void that needed to be filled on social media with the women. And I would notice that people were hungry for attention, and they were thirsty for validation. And the young ladies, women, girls, all of the likes, I could see the hurt and the pain. I could hear it. I could feel it. And I understood it. But I didn't know that it was so visible in the earth until I began to really, really be on social media. And I began to pay attention to that. And God revealed to me that he wanted me to write a devotional, because I love devotionals. I'm a reader. I love to read. And reading just really does it for me. And I thought about the need that I was seeing around the world and in social media, and I said, these women need a daily devotional. They need something to help them understand they don't have to be thirsty for the world. If they just really pay attention to who God is and get to know their source, they can really find themselves, because a lot of it was a cry. I saw a cry for help. Nobody was asking for help, but they were crying out in those posts. They were crying out in those half-naked photos. They were crying out for attention in all the wrong places. And I knew that I had something on the inside of me that could meet that need, because I had been there before. You go through a series of life experiences, and in each experience, you're supposed to learn a lesson. And blessedly, I learned lessons from my experience. And so I could relate to those girls and those young ladies, but even though it wasn't social media in my time, it was something else. It was just regular everyday living. And whether it was going out in the clubs or I've never really had to seek attention from men, but it always gravitated to me. So it was like a flattering, you know. And I would see the photos and the confused minds, and one day young ladies will be posting about God, and then the next day they'll be venting, and then the next day they'll be, you know, cursing and going off, and it was just a mixture of everything. And I found out what God wanted me to do through watching and observing the world around me. And as I began to write my book, it started out, it was always a devotional to speak to the mind, and, you know, be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. You know, our minds first have to be renewed before we can do anything new in our lives, because, you know, we will continue to practice the same habits and get the same results if we don't change our mindsets, right?
That's true.
So, Girl, Affirm Yourself is about renewing the mind first, and then it's about cleansing the heart. You know, in Girl, Affirm Yourself, I talk about forgiveness. I talk about animosity, jealousy, envy, strife, letting go of past hurts and pains. And there's so much that I dig deep into the core, because we know that our heart is the center of our being. And then I talk about strengthening the spirit. And it all ties in together, because once you get your mind right, what's in your heart and your mind is going to connect. And then you have to have your spirit strengthened to be able to continue to handle, because adversity is going to continue to come. But when we handle things from a spiritual aspect, we have a different outcome, right? That's what Girl Affirm Yourself, and that's how I birthed Girl Affirm Yourself, was paying attention to a need that I felt I could meet in the earth amongst the women, the young women, girls and ladies that I could relate to, and who I know somewhere can relate to my story. And inside of Girl Affirm Yourself, I talk about my life experiences. So I give you a synopsis of what has happened in my world, how I found God, how I found confidence, how I found my purpose, how I can actually live everyday life with trials and tribulations and still be confident enough to serve God. Because a lot of women think that because they're imperfect, they can't serve God or walk in purpose, and that is not true. And Girl Affirm Yourself is basically like a conversation. It's a girlfriend conversation. It's a 3-part conversation between myself, the reader, and God as the mediator.
And the fact that you wrote this book and as a devotional is great, because that's something that you can kind of sit back and like you're doing now, relax and meditate on it, and really let it sink in. It's not something that you have to rush through. It's that you let it sink in. You let it see how it works within you and your relationship with God. And I also like the fact that, because one thing I've seen a meme on social media at times, and it says, "I'm so happy that camera phones weren't invented when I was young, or social media wasn't so big when I was young," because I think sometimes people realize that when you mature and when you grow, you kind of forget that was me, or I had situations like that, or I had friends that had situations like that, and I think it's good that when you can kind of go back to that time, not to dwell in it or feel like guilt or shame or anything like that, but to say, oh, I remember that. How did I get through this? How did I feel when I was going through that? So that way you can show compassion to others or help them get through it. And I think it's amazing that you are using that in with your book, and as well as coaching with people to help them break that cycle and change their mind about the way they look at themselves.
Exactly. And that's what it's about. It's about seeing yourself. Girl Affirm Yourself is about seeing yourself through the eyes of God. It's about not conforming to the patterns of the world It's about helping our young women, our girls, our ladies to understand that it's okay to be who you are, that you don't have to be who everyone expects you to be. It's okay to embrace your flaws. It's okay to be imperfect, but in your imperfection, you are striving to be better. And you still have work to do while you're striving to be better, because destiny is not final. Destiny is a continuous journey. It's not a final destination like people think it is. Purpose is a journey. And throughout
that is so true, because when you think about, when I think about purpose and I think about my journey in finding my purpose, I learned, you have a goal. You say, okay, this is my goal. I want to become this, or I want to do this, or I want to write this book, right? But you learn so much through the process of reaching the goal. That's the value of it all. When you reach the goal, that's great. You celebrate it. You set another one, but it's the journey that has the most value to me, at least from my experience.
Mhm. It is the journey, because in the journey you're going to encounter many life lessons. You're going to encounter good times and uphill battles. You're going to encounter many different types of people. And I think that we experience people, every person has a reason and a season in our lives, and we have to pay close attention to why God allowed us to encounter certain people. And when people don't come to stay in our lives, we sometimes think of it as rejection. It's not always rejection. And in Girl Affirm Yourself, there's a devotional that talks about how to handle the spirit of rejection. Because it's not always rejection. It's something you were supposed to get out of the experience that you had with people, those people. And when you get that experience, you're able to move forward in boldness. Girl Affirm Yourself is also about the power of affirmation. I am a very strong avid believer in the power of words. The power of words when spoken over ourselves, we have to be very mindful when we're in the midst of emotion, when we're in the midst of trial, when we're in the midst of everyday life. We have to be very cognizant of the words that we release, because those words are seeds, and we nurture them with our emotions and our actions. So Girl Affirm Yourself is mostly about the power of affirmation and how I learned to affirm myself, truly affirm myself according to God's word, and not according to what other people think or observed about me or what happened in my past. It's not about that. It's about what God says about you, and then you take what he says about you and you put it into words, the words that he has written, and you affirm yourself with those words.
Yes, that is, and I like that, that you speak to affirmations, because those are key, because what we say to ourselves and to others has so much power. And, sometimes, and it's so easy, to hear negative. I mean, the world is full of negative, and so it surrounds us. So it's so easy to hear that and get caught up in that, and you have to be very strategic, as well as desire, the need to always hear positive and to speak life over yourself and others.
Exactly.
So tell me, what is one tip or key thing that you could tell someone who maybe is kind of stuck in a cycle that they can do to break out the cycle and just kind of start to feel better about themselves? What's one thing they can do?
The key thing that I would say would be belief, self-belief. If you believe that you can come out, then you'll be able to come out. People can try to pull us out. And if we do not believe something, it will not work for us. No matter who around us believes in us, we have to first believe in ourselves. And so the number one key to coming out of a place where you feel stuck is you have to develop a belief system. Whatever that belief system is, whether you believe in the universe or the higher power or whatever you believe in, you have to find a foundation, and you have to build sturdy belief in yourself. In order to believe in yourself, you also have to believe in something else, something that came before you. For me, that is God. For someone else, that may be something else. I encourage each person to find a belief system. And then when you develop self-belief, it builds your confidence level. Even if it isn't all the way on 100, you're going to have enough confidence level to come out of the place that makes you feel stuck. Everyone around you can either believe in you and try to pull you out, but if you do not believe, you won't come out. I also believe, on the other hand, that no one else will really believe in you until they see that you believe in yourself. Someone can see your potential, but it is you that gives off the energy to help other people see more than potential. So that tip for me is belief. You have to have self-belief. I have a belief in myself when no one else does. Sometimes my belief is so strong that no one else can tell me anything. Sometimes that's a hindrance. Sometimes that's a because if I really believe something about myself and someone is giving me constructive criticism, sometimes I have to check myself because there's a season for everything. So, that belief has to be deep. You have to believe in yourself so much that no one else can tell you anything different in a negative way, is what I'm saying. So some people's belief system is weak, and a person will come and tell you something about yourself and make you believe that. If your belief system is weak, oh, you can't do that. You want to write a book. Nobody's going to read it. And they'll put the book down. And then they'll say, I feel stuck. I don't know what to do. You received the negative word because your belief system in yourself was not strong enough.
And that is so true, because when you don't believe in yourself and someone says something, no matter what someone says to you, good or bad, honestly, you latch onto it. But if you know who you are, you know the gifts that you have inside, if you know even knowing what your flaws are, I think that there's power in that. Knowing the things that you need to work on, there's so much power in that, because in that way, if someone has something negative to say to you or about you, or then you won't be as hurt because you knew it already, right? You knew it already, and it takes the power away from evil people or people that just are they're not caring or what they're saying or doing to someone. So I think that you're right. You have to believe in yourself, and that is a good key to start with. And I'm glad you shared that with the audience and the listeners, because, sometimes, especially as entrepreneurs or just going throughout your day, you may have those days where you falter and you're like, I can't do it, or I'm tired, or whatever the case may be. And you need someone to say, remember, you got to believe in yourself. You got to speak life into yourself, and, having your devotional and following you, I'm quite sure, helps with that.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly true. The belief system, I believe, is the foundation to doing everything that we want to do, because if you don't believe that you can do it, it won't happen for you.
Yes. So what I want to do is I want you to tell us a little bit about your workshops, but we're going to take a quick break first. But when we come back, tell us a little about your workshops for your Tap into the Power of You workshops. So when we come back, you guys, we're going to hear all about that. And I want to thank you guys for listening to the MsSavvyPro Show with our guest, Nameica Craig, and we're going to take a break and listen to Heart of Worship, okay? All right. Be right back with you.
Thank you.
my heart to worship. Here is my heart to worship. Forever sing your praises. Forever singing your praises. Here is my heart to worship. Here is my heart to worship. You are to be glorified. You are to be glorified. Here is my heart
you guys. Yes, that was Heart of Worship, and we are back. We are back with the MsSavvyPro Show with our guest, Miss Nameica Craig, and she was going to tell us, we asked her to tell us all about her workshop, and I am looking forward to hear how those go, and it was see if maybe she's having any in the future. So, Nameica, are you there?
I am.
Hi. So welcome back to the MsSavvyPro Show.
Thank you.
So tell me about your workshops, the Tap into the Power of You. Now, are those extensions of the book, or do they have a different concept?
No, Tap into the Power of You workshop is a vision God gave me about 3 years ago now. This is the third year, and it is fabulously blessed and purposeful, and it's called the Vision and Purpose Party Tour. And what I do is host annual vision board workshops, but they're not quite your average vision board workshops. What I do is I teach from my 7 categories of life. I teach in my workshop how to put together a vision board with a strategy to it that aligns with your purpose, and how to set those, put time frames on them, and how to break those goals down into smaller projects so that you are more likely to complete them. But it starts also with the mindset. So I teach in that workshop about how to get your mind prepared for the level of success that you're hoping to achieve within that year, or 3 years or 5 years, or whatever goal that you're looking to meet. I have 7 power principles to success, which I am about to introduce my first webinar on that coming up in the next probably 14 days or so. And from those 7 power principles of success, also I teach from the 7 categories of life that are attached to the vision board. And I express in detail how it is not the vision board that manifests the things that you're hoping for or the things that you put on the vision board, but it is the power of your belief system, your actions, your mindset, organization, order in your life, and so many other things that come with that.
You know,
so
that's good. It's like a holistic approach to it.
Yes. It's sort of like I help you put things into proper perspective and not to set unrealistic goals so that you don't find yourself disappointed and give up and quit on your goals when you don't see them happening as fast as you would like to.
Yes, that's really good that you break it down like that. I think, especially with the vision board. I love vision boards, especially, connected with affirmations and, having those goals in front of you. So the fact that you break it down into the different, aspects of life, it allows you to kind of get some type of balance and control over the situation that the things that you want to take care of.
Mm-hmm. And so I teach the power of goal setting in the workshop. I have several different categories that I break down into how goal setting is most important to you achieving the level of success. Whether it's a small level, a significant level, you have to set goals. And setting goals is one of the power tools that I use in my everyday life to help me accomplish the things that I desire. We can have things in our head, but if you don't take those things out of your head so that you can see them, visualize them, remind yourself about them, work on them, and set timelines for them, one of the things that my audience loves to hear me say is date your goals. So if you continue to follow me, you'll hear me say, are you dating your goals? Take your goals on a date. Are you casually dating, or are you dating with a purpose? Date your goals, and it will work out better for you if you have a purpose behind setting your goal. Don't just set a goal and say, I want to lose weight. Well, when do you want to lose weight? How much do you want to lose? And then what is your strategy for losing weight? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yeah, because
I like that. Date your goals. I like that. That's a great term, and it's something kind of easy to remember, or to remind you along your way when you're trying to reach the goal. Like, wait a minute, when was the last time I worked on it, or looked into it, or nurtured this goal? So yeah, that's great. I like that term.
Mm-hmm. And don't work on them alone. One of the keys I talk about PowerPoints in my workshops. It's about tapping into the power of you, but we know that we need help. We need assistance. Who's your accountability partner? Who's pushing you? Who's rooting you on? Who's cheering for you? Who's pumping you up when you're low on energy? Because if you're working on more than one goal and you get tied up into that goal, then what are you doing with the other two if you have 3 goals set for the year? So where's your accountability partner? Yes, you have the power on the inside of you to do these things. You have the power on the inside of you without relying on someone to get them done for you. But you also need a team member. You need a teammate. You need someone that you can count on to help you remain accountable, remind you and hold you accountable for what you said you would do.
Yeah, that is, I think you do, you do have to have those accountability partners, those supportive people in your life that know what you're trying to do and that can, kind of make sure that you're staying on track with those goals with being a little firm, but as well as being being firm with you and knowing who you are and when to be firm with you, I guess. And I think that's when you come into play with coaches like you, and accountability partners, that you may meet within your workshops. So what else is next? I know you mentioned that you have the webinar coming up. So where can they find information about that? And is there anything else coming up next for you?
I will be announcing the workshop information next week. So you guys follow me on social media at Nameica Speaks. Is my fan page, and that's Nameica, Nameica. Second word, Speaks, and my name is Nameica Craig, Craig. I am at Nameica Speaks on Instagram, and at Nameica Speaks and Nameica Craig is my personal page on Facebook, which is public. So if you look for me, I'm not that hard to find. My website is www.nameicaspeaks.com. You can find all of information about me there. You can also sign up for my email list there, and you can get a free download. Most people know me. I teach on principles on living the fabulously blessed lifestyle. You have a free download that will give you those principles there. And I have my book signing coming up. So that is the main project that I'm working on right now, and there will be many programs and services offered after the launch of Girl Affirm Yourself. I have my first Women's Summit, which is a spinoff off of the Vision and Purpose Party tour that I do annually, the Tap Into the Power of You workshop. I will be having the first Women's Summit in November of 2018. So look for more details on that. And I will be doing a book tour. So Texas, Alabama, Florida, California, Las Vegas, and, of course, Atlanta here at home. I will be in those cities on book tour throughout 2018 and 2019. So if you follow me, just stay tuned for all of my announcements for what I have coming up next. And the next Tap Into the Power of You workshop will be in Montgomery, Alabama, and that will be in May of this year.
All right. Well, you have heard it here. She is on tour. Make sure you are following her to find out where she is. She's actually coming to a lot of cities. So if she's not coming to your exact state, those are some states that are surrounded by a lot of other states. So get there.
If you want me to come first,
make it a girls' trip. Make it a girls' trip, you guys. Yeah. Pack up in the van and make your way out to the book tour. So especially with this book, it sounds like it's a great book. I can't wait to see, all the things she does with it. And I just wish you many blessings and good luck on that, and I hope it's fun and you meet a lot of great people.
Thank you.
And so we have all your information. We'll make sure also we'll put her information in the event page, guys. That way you can just click and go. And so, Nameica, I want to thank you so much for coming on the MsSavvyPro Show and sharing your purpose with us and sharing your keys to success, because those are key things, and I'm quite sure there's someone in the audience or someone who knows someone in the audience who needs those keys, who wants to change their mindset, and now you have given them to them and they know where to find you.
I appreciate you for having me, Patrice. It is just awesome at any time to be able to share my gifts with anyone in any capacity, because we as women, we have to power off of each other. Yes. And I just want to leave you guys with these words of encouragement, that confidence comes from within. Confidence is something that we are not exactly born with. You know, we'll have confidence as a child, and something will happen in our lives and take that confidence away. We have to regain that confidence. So if you're in a space right now, in an area of your life where you're feeling not so confident, but you're confident in other areas, or if you're just not feeling confident at all, I encourage you to get Girl Affirm Yourself, because it is all about helping you to find your purpose, that thing that you were placed here in this world, on this earth to do, and do it with confidence. And those are the two things those are my focal points in everything that I do. The Tap Into the Power of You workshop, the Facebook Live, Instagram posts, anything that you see me post, it's about helping others to understand the confidence that is required to walk fiercely, boldly, and fabulously in purpose, and God wants you to have that. So I thank you again, Patrice, for having me tonight. It has been a pleasure and an honor. I'm most elated, and if you need anything from me, let me know. I'll be happy to assist in any way that I can, and if any of your listeners want to reach me, find me on those social media outlets, and I'm easily accessible, and I respond to messages.
Yes, she does. When I reached out to her to ask her to be on the show, she got back to me really soon, and we kept with communication. So, yes, if you have any questions or you want to reach out to her, go ahead. Make sure you do. Just reach out to her anyway. Just follow her and see what she's doing. I mean, if anything, you'll get great positive affirmations to live by and motivation and encouragement every day. So do those things. Do that, you guys. And Nameica, when the book releases, please keep us posted so we can be able to see everything and we can get the book. And once again, I thank you for coming on. And you guys, I thank you for listening and tuning into the MsSavvyPro Show once again on this great Tuesday. And remember, you guys, go out to YesPurposeMatters.com. You can get the book, and you can get we actually have a purpose pack where you can get the book, the shirt, the awareness bands, and a surprise gift when you get the purpose pack. And the purpose pack is only $30. That's it. $30, and you get all of those things. So make sure you go out to YesPurposeMatters.com to check those out, and also to check out the contributing authors, too. Look and see what they're doing on their websites. So I'll see you out there, you guys, and I will see you next Tuesday. You have a wonderful week, and thank you for listening to the MsSavvyPro Show on the I Am a Superwoman Network. Bye, you guys.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to the MsSavvyPro Show, and remember, there's always peace in purpose.